I'm Eckhard Hein. I'm a professor of economics at the Berlin School of Economics and Law. My research over the last couple of years has focused on the development of post-Keynesian theory in the areas of money, distribution and growth. Most recently on financialization issues on the one hand, and on the other hand I'm working on European economic policies. FESSUD is important for several reasons. It's important because after this crisis we will have to rethink the way we model our economy. We have to rethink our theory about our economy, and of course we have to rethink our policies, our economic policies in the areas of regulation on the one hand, but also in the area of macroeconomic policies on the other hand. I'm coordinating the contributions of the Berlin School of Economics and Law, and the Berlin School of Economics and Law is a leader of Work Package 3, so I'm coordinating this as well. Well, the starting point of all this is that we need to have an explanation of the recent crisis, and an explanation which does not only focus on the process of the crisis itself and the several dimensions of the crisis, but also on the long-run development of the modern capitalist economies since the early 1980s, a development which by now is termed financialization. So in this work package we examine this long-run development from an empirical perspective, but also, of course, we reflect on the theories about this long-run development. And then in the second step, of course, we focus on the crisis which started a couple of years ago. The primary objective is to get a better understanding of the long-run developments of finance-dominated capitalism or financialization, to get an understanding about the contradictions of these developments and to what extent these contradictions have contributed to the most recent crisis. So I think that the contribution of this work package to the whole project of FESSUD is exactly this. Well, the work package is carried out in several steps, and we have several deliverables in this work package. Broadly speaking, we have a theory part which deals on the one hand with short-run crisis theories from different perspectives, and then the long-run theories about the long-run development of finance-dominated capitalism, the effects on income distribution, growth and instability. And then we have an empirical part, in which on the one hand we do country studies in order to see how these long-run developments have shown up in each of the countries we are examining. We have sectoral studies on this for three important macroeconomic sectors, so the housing sector, the currency sector and the energy sector. And then we have treat the European dimension in the third part of this. So this is more broadly the structure of the work package. Usually we should target at least two types of audiences. On the one hand, of course, our fellow researchers, our academic colleagues in the area of economics, sociology, and other social sciences. But then, of course, also the policy area. So we have to draw conclusions from our research in order to get them into the policy debate, into the discussions at the national levels, but also at the European levels. So I think these are the two main audiences of what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, if everything runs perfect, I think we should come up with a very convincing theory about the contradictions of finance-dominated capitalism. We should come up with sound empirical foundations of what we are saying, and with very precise economic policy conclusions. So that is, I think, what we can contribute. And if I then move on, I would of course wish that all this is well received in the academic arena on the one hand and by the policymakers on the other hand. So in other words, that we can contribute to a better development of the European Monetary Union, which, as we all know, is in a period of deep crisis, and we are desperately looking for solutions which improves the perspectives of this experiment.